Well, hello world. Today I'm bringing you a quick little review. I guess it's almost kind of a teaser review of a mock that I've made of the Alamo. And I'm actually getting ready to ship this out, and my cousin is going to do some additional work on it and go from there. But I thought I'd at least let y'all kind of see what I was doing. I know that making mocks of the Alamo is definitely something that a lot of people have done a really good job of. I was looking at a lot of them, and I was really inspired by everybody's work and inspired by the Alamo itself. I made one when I was younger. Back then, they really only had white bricks. A little tells you how old I am. So white was the closest they had, and I made it all out of white bricks. And then this time I came around and I used the tan bricks. So I did my best to make it the entire compound really as true to history as I could. So I'll just kind of point out some of the different features here. Basically, we had the main gate right here, and this would have been the southwest corner, and they had a really big cannon there. It was like an 18-pounder that I think they got from France. And then this would have been, I believe, like the west wall. And then over here would have been the north wall, and that's where most of the troops that were attacking actually breached the Alamo and came in. And then over here, would have been the long barracks, and I believe there was a jail cell over there. And then back in here, they had some cattle pens, some horse pens, they had a well, they had a couple more cannons inside the complex. And then, of course, over here we have the main chapel, which we will look at in a little bit more detail. I guess just moving in a little closer for y'all, so you can see just some of the detail here. Some of this was per my cousin's request. He's going to be putting in some more details like that. And I think he might do a more thorough review of everything a little bit later. Anyhow, I did my best to replicate the proper number of cannon that both the Mexican Army and the defending Texans had. This was at least part of the Mexican Army that I've managed to assemble. So we can see back here, we have some field pieces, and we have Santa Anna and some of his commanders, and we have supply wagons and additional cannons coming in. I believe at the time of the actual battle, Santa Anna had about 8 guns from the documents that I can find, which isn't really a lot. It's partly why he struggled so much to get in such a poorly fortified place. And so then coming up over here, you can see that they also have a couple places for cannon. Here's a little side view of the chapel. And you can see right now I actually have the gabled roof on it, and that didn't really come in until after the Battle of the Alamo. But I put it on there for sake of completion, and you can convert it to be how it was during the actual battle. Over here I have Will Travis, or my best attempt at him anyways. He's got kind of red hair, and I believe this is where he died, along this north wall. And coming over here, this is a kitchen. Inside there we have ovens and all that, and over here we have a cot and a hospital, and I guess that could be David Bowie laying there. And then over here, I was running out of space, so I put a bunch of the Mexican Army over here, and I did my best again to replicate from history as much as I could of the different Mexican troops that there were, how they dressed, what their uniforms were. I'd say the army itself cost probably just about as much to assimilate as all of the pieces for the Alamo, because I did order all these pieces from Brickell and from Lego.com, so shout out to those organizations. They were phenomenal. Actually just filled up my entire trash can with boxes from them. So over here, this would have been the wall where Davy Crockett and his men would have fought. There may have been one more piece of artillery here. I'm not exactly sure. History's kind of divided on that from what I could find. Maybe there's a more definitive source. If you know, leave a comment. I'd love to know. Over here we have, I got it, one of the little Davy Crockett custom minifigs. Found that one on eBay. I think it was about $8 or $9, so definitely the most expensive component of all the Army guys. It's kind of popped off, but this is the front now of the chapel, and I did my best to replicate the, how it looked in real life as much as I could. I spent quite a bit of time building it and tearing it apart, and I made it so that this top part here, you can see it can crack off here, and it's got smooth pieces underneath all along here, so you can make it look like it did during the battle. And then I have this ramp that actually fits inside the chapel, and so that you can have it look like it did in 1836 when the actual battle took place. I just think it has much more like appeal sitting on a shelf if you at least have the option to put like a nice roof on it. So you can take the roof off. You can look inside here. I'll take this part off too. And if you drop the camera in here, you can see I just have it set up like a regular church. I believe this is about the stage of construction it was in at the time that the battle for the Alamo, or the siege, or even before the siege, when they started using it as a military hangout, or base, I guess you'd call it. Anyway, you can see down in here, I believe that this section was like a graveyard or some sort of a place to commemorate the lost or the dead. And over here, I just made it like a little preparation area for, I guess, the priests. Back under here, there's a room for munitions. And I think in one of these rooms is where they would have had the women and children hanging out or hiding during the battle. So, yeah. Anyways, sorry for the shaky cam here. I'm doing my best. I need to get my technique down and actually get a stand for this thing so it doesn't annoy everybody. But I'm getting ready to ship this out, and I didn't really have time to do a full-blown proper review, as I really never do. So, anyhow, I sure hope that this maybe could be like an inspiration for somebody to build an even better one. I'd love to see that. Or give me tips on how to make it better myself. My cousin and I would love to hear what anybody would have to say. All right, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.